Good
Wow.
afternoon. Hello,
Wow. What's
everyone.
going on? What happened there? It went well.
I know for the first week we've done well.
Something's gonna happen during the show. I don't know what's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen. Am I cursing it
I,
now?
I think you are, but we'll see how we get on. Let's not jinx it. This is the first time we've actually gone live without a problem. So,
Yeah.
but,
Let me
but
pull up my
anyway,
chair. Let's get ready for this one. This one's
let's
gonna
do
be
it. So
good.
this is gonna be a lovely one. So, uh, how are you, Brian? We'll start off with there.
Oh man, it was extremely busy week for me for obviously Parapost. Keeping up on that stuff. We're doing interviews right now, trying to find a coder and a developer so we can
Oh yeah,
get the live stream going. And also making the site a little more user friendly. So I've been kind of doing that all week, talking with people and interviewing people and stuff like that. So we're getting close. I have a meeting on Monday with somebody else, and I'm hoping it's going to turn out with this guy because he seems very, very good. So we'll get on the meeting with him, me, and Mike. But Parapost is doing well. And obviously, today, as everybody knows, and if you don't know, and if you're living under a rock, Paraflix launched today, which is great. I've been posting it everywhere. Now, I just want to make sure that did you actually put the link in the description, Lex?
yeah,
You
yep.
did.
So the
Okay.
description now has
Sorry,
the
you
link to
froze
it,
there for a
and
little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
Oh, my
just want
bad.
to let people.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
link
that's
is all
okay.
there.
Yeah, if you want to click on that link, it takes you to the Paraflix site, and you do everything you need to do. You're filling your name and all that stuff, and there is something underneath there. It says if you want the promo, and you put in the promo code Natalie10, and that will get you 10% off for the next 3 months. But it's fantastic. There's been a lot going on, a lot of great response. I don't know about the signups. Obviously, that's not my. I don't have anything to do with that. But I will say, I can say this that my video is under the most watched right now, which I do like. And I'm not trying to brag. Or there's many other people too, but at the end of the day, I put out on Twitter, I put out on Instagram what the app kind of looks like inside. So I did kind of a screen record just to show everybody what it looks like inside, and it flows nice. It's nice, and there's so much good content. I've been watching it over the last 4 or 5 days since I signed up, and it's some of the content on there is absolutely incredible. And I'm really excited to see what the future is going to bring to Paraflix. So I've spoken to Natalie a couple of times over the last day or two, and she would, and I asked her a question. I said to her last night, or I said to her this morning, I guess you were a little bit nervous about the launch. And she goes, yeah, I was a lot nervous. So as people know that are coming into the show, we did have Natalie on the show a few weeks back. And if you want to go take a look at that episode and learn a lot more about Paraflix and Natalie, just go to the playlist in this channel, and you will find it in the playlist. So other than that, that was a long-winded answer. I'm sorry, but that's what's been going on. So it's been really good. Honestly, it's been good. It's been busy, but it's been good. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, this week must have been especially today. This has been a long time coming since the Paraflix talks came out. The hype is building more and more every day. Like I said it to Natalie when we had her on the show. There's not a social media platform I've been on where Paraflix isn't being mentioned somewhere now. It's going to be huge. I signed up to it, and I'm looking for. I'm glad I get to finally watch the videos that you were teasing, because I've been looking forward to these, because you haven't let me sneakily watch it, so I'm really looking forward to watching.
Sorry, Lex. I'm just gonna interrupt you for a minute. There's something really weird that happened today that I'm trying to figure out, and this doesn't usually happen. Since Paraflix launched, I've gotten 4 emails from Netflix.
Oh wow. Maybe that could be that. I don't know.
4 emails from Netflix today, and usually I get maybe 1 a month, but I gotten 4 today about new shows coming out. That's never ever happened. So maybe Netflix knows what's going on and pushing out the emails a little bit more. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just got another notification for another email from Netflix, and I had to say that. So, but go on. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry
so I'll
for
just say
interrupting.
that's no problem. So I said, like I said, when that was on, this has been going for a very, very long time. To see the hype build up as much of this, and to see the payoff is going to be worth it as well. I said it then, and I'll say it again now. This is the future is paranormal, and it's going to be because of Paraflix, the people behind it, the content creators that are going to be on there. But it's also, I'm going to give you and Mike from Charm City a bit of a praise here. And Parapost is the way forward.
Yeah,
I think the team at Paraflix and you guys at Parapost have opened up a doorway to make this a really valid community that really does take off. I think this is our year to be the biggest thing on the internet, and hopefully we can maintain the stride we're on. So, as Bryan said, if you haven't signed up to Paraflix already, please do it. The link is down in the description below, and don't forget to use Natalie10 as the promo code to get your first 3 months 10% off for subscribing, which is a fantastic way to start it off.
What's going on with this? What's going on? What are you doing?
I have an itchy knuckle, man. Leave me alone.
You know what? I will say I'm going to add something else. And we were talking about this in the green room about investigators and how crazy we are. And, investigators go towards the noises. Most people leave the noises. Well, I was listening to a recording that I did in the tunnel a week and a half ago, and I would listen to both. And my God, dude, like you won't believe the amount of EVPs that I captured. And we're not talking like, or some like we're talking like actual words, and I captured 11 in 2 tunnels. 11. Jesus. And I'm starting to think Blue Ghost Tunnel is a very haunted tunnel. It's on the top 10 list, and I understand that because I just understand because there's so much death that's happened there. But I tell you, Streaming Tunnel, it should be on that list because I captured 7 EVPs in that tunnel, and 3 of them were in a matter of 4 seconds. I just don't understand why it's not on that list. But anyways, other than that, so we have GSI on today, and why am I having problem saying that? But anyways,
I have no idea.
Ghost sightings investigations. How about that? But I've known John for probably about 6 months. I met him through Instagram. He's a really, really good guy, and we've had some really, really good conversations through Instagram, and their videos are a lot. I've seen a lot of their videos, and they're outstanding. They really are. And these 2 guys are great. So, but I'm going to let you do what you do best, and that's to introduce people.
I will indeed. So before I bring these 2 on, first I want to say is for the first week of our show, we have more than 1 guest coming on. We've got 2 members of GSI coming on today, which is fantastic. But I also want to say big up Team UK Paranormal, because this is what it is today. This is the UK episode. GSI is in the UK, so repping my home boys. But I will say before I bring them on, that I want to say these are the nicest guys. I've had the pleasure of meeting them today just to say hello. I think I've had them on Twitter for a little while. I wasn't subscribed on YouTube for too long. But I have been watching a lot of their videos over the last week. But I think they're genuine. They're great. I think the fact they have an outtakes video is really fun. I haven't seen many paranormal channels do that, so that's a really cool thing. So without further ado, let me introduce both GSI John and Ralph to represent their teams. And here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Hello there, guys.
Look at these 2 suave-looking guys. Is it suave? What's the flattering word to say to somebody in the UK?
I don't think there's a word invented for the UK, to be honest.
Okay. Look at these two great looking guys and two fellow paranormal investigators that I admire. And I know Lex is going to admire, or already does admire already. And we both seen a lot of your videos. I've seen a lot. Maybe I've seen a lot more. It's just because I've known John a lot longer. Yeah. But I remember the very first video that I saw of you guys. It was you guys in a forest. And I think I can't remember the name of the video, sorry, but you guys were all standing. One? You guys were all standing around in a circle. And was it a circle that you guys? Anyways, that's when I started really watching your videos. I can't remember the name of it. I was going to look it up before I got online today.
Is it Sherwood Forest?
Pardon me?
Was it Sherwood Forest?
Might have been. It might have been. But it was one of your, I think, far back one. Because
could have been the Forest one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that's it. Maybe it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. But you guys, I am so happy you guys are on today. Like, really, I am. Like, we've had some pretty good guests, and I've admired a lot of them. But honestly, I admire you guys so much that and I'll be honest, and I'm going to say this out loud. I've taken a few of you things that you do and put them into my investigations.
Oh wow, really?
Cool. So, I think that speaks volumes on if you really, really admire someone. And I'm going to do enough sucking up right now, and I'm going to stop. So, is my nose brown or what's going on here? But anyways, go ahead, Lex.
So first of all, before we the first question that popped out here is I just want to make aware of how long you guys have been doing this, not just on this channel. I don't know if you've done it before. So how long have you guys been in this field?
Well, yeah, all right then. Yeah, I mean, Craig, I've been into the paranormal since I was at primary school.
That's a long time.
So like 6. Wow. So,
wow. What's that about? What's that about? 15 years ago? Is that 15 years ago, Prime? You don't get the joke, dude. That's a Canadian
thing. I get it. It's fun not to laugh.
I think Ralph froze on us. I think that's what's going on right now. Way. So,
for myself, it was how long? I've always been interested. I've always had sort of like paranormal things happen from a kid to a teenager to a young adult to an adult. But I think it was around 15 years ago when I properly got into it, when I had an incident at Alton Towers, one of the theme parks in the UK where I used to work at as an engineer. And that's when I sort of made the decision that I wanted to take it further, sort of thing,
Okay. So obviously I've seen a lot of your videos and I know what you guys like when it comes to equipment. But for the fans out there, for the people watching out there, if you were to reach into your bag, what would be the first thing that you'd reach for when it comes to pieces of equipment?
For me, it would be the 4K video camera with night vision. That would be the first piece that I'd grab out.
And you, Ralph?
For me, it'd be a bit of dictaphone. I like the EVP stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And when you guys are on investigations and stuff like that, do you generally just try to communicate with them, and hopefully they're going to communicate with you through either your camera or you're going to hear them, or do you prefer to use something that's going to help them come out?
I think a bit of both, to be honest. We find that every location has its differences and different spirits, which will have different ways of trying to coax them out to interact with the team. So it's a case of having enough equipment where you can change the style of the attack, if you like, to try and get what you're looking for during the investigation.
Okay. And you, Ralph?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with John, really. I mean, it's based, site to site. Some places you go there and the kit you think you're going to be, going to be more beneficial. You get there, it might not be anything. You just got to be ready and prepared to adapt to what's in front of you, really.
Yeah. And I'll let you go ahead. Go ahead, Lex.
So I do want to expand on site-specific stuff in a moment. But I want to say well done for getting out during the British lockdown to go and do an investigation as well. That's one I watched today. Was your hang on, is it Clifton Woods?
Yeah, myself and my stepson and his girlfriend will live in the same house, and I was absolutely bored shitless. And they said, "You fancy a walk?" I said, "Yeah, I'm taking the camera," and off we went. And it was that because it's Clifton Woods is on my doorstep, you see. So we walked, and I said, "Look, we may as well go and do an investigation because either that or I'm going to go stir crazy." So they was kind enough to go out.
And if I'm remembering correctly, you've done one there. You've done videos there before, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done probably three. That might have been the fourth, I think.
Is it a highly active place? Because I can't remember. Brian, do you remember Chantel? Didn't she go to Clifton Woods?
Yes, she did.
So
yes.
I thought I recognised when I watched the video. I'm pretty sure I recognised the forest name. So is it a really active place then? Because they got. I don't know if you know the Chantel channel. I'm struggling to remember the name of it now. So do you remember the name of the channel, Brian?
Chantel Explorations, I think.
Yeah,
or Adventures or something along that line.
Chantel Adventures, yeah. Because her and her friend, they got a lot of activity on their video. And obviously you've done it 4 times. So is it a really active location?
Yeah, it is. But there's a bit of irony behind it because myself and Ralph have been about 3 times, and every time we've been, it seems to have scaled up to the point of where, I mean, it's probably one of only 2 locations where I've actually felt uncomfortable to the point of thinking I need to call this and get out. Usually I don't get scared by anything like that. So we thought what we do from time to time, we do a subscriber investigation. So anyone that subscribes to our YouTube channel, we'll run a competition. They can join the team free of charge and come out on an investigation with us all. And that's our way of saying thank you to the people that subscribe to us, So a couple applied and won, Cheryl and Chris, they came along. And it was crap. It was dead as anything. And we said, what's the one place we can take them to, which was guaranteed to be a good night for them? And it was rubbish. And we felt so bad for them. Do you know what I mean? It was terrible. But on the whole, yeah, it's a really good location.
And that's and sometimes that's the risk, right? When you're bringing guests out and nothing happens. But sometimes it's just not about them seeing stuff or hearing stuff or you guys catching something. It's just being out with you guys as investigators. And if they're fans, I think they would have appreciated that a lot more than you guys catching something, or that's my feeling. So I don't know if it's true. Maybe you guys, well, I can see you guys being excellent hosts and doing stuff like that. It's great. And I've actually thought about doing that, but I don't know if really anybody wants to go out with me. So. But I will say, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this channel. It's on YouTube. It's called Tuber Chat. And basically the channel is you go there and he helps you promote your channel. So he will get other people to follow you and then you follow them back. He came out with me on the 2 tunnels that I did a week and a half ago. So, and he loved it. So I guess, I don't know if he necessarily loved me, but he definitely loved what we were doing. So, but yeah, and that's a great thing to do. And I think a lot more investigators are doing that now, putting in those type of contests that if you do this or if you do that, then you can come out and investigate with us. And I think it's a great idea. And I commend you guys for doing that.
Cheers.
Yeah, I think it really I think it shows who you are as people. I think the hardest thing to convey in any field on media is to show how real you are as people. And we are looked at, and I think we're at a disadvantage slightly with being in the paranormal because a lot of people fake stuff. So we're already at a disadvantage if people don't trust us. So I think the fact that you guys do something like that is really, I've had an idea of doing it where I said that the seasons that I'm doing for mine, I do have extended episodes. and I'm actually I'm getting them made onto DVD formats to give out to subscribers for thanking them to join the first season. So I think everyone has their own little way to giving back, and I actually really commend what you do. I think that's really, really nice.
I mean, we appreciate everyone that subscribes to the channel. You know, it's a hobby for myself, Ralph, and the rest of the team. But without the people that watch it, there wouldn't be a YouTube channel, there wouldn't be an Instagram page, you know, and hopefully we bring some sort of pleasure to them. And with them watching our content, they do it for us back, sort of thing. So, yeah, we can't thank them enough.
Have you guys ever thought about coming over to the dark side and going to Paraflix?
To be honest, tonight is the first time I've actually heard of Paraflix, and I've got to be honest, because we're honest people. What is it?
Paraflix? Oh, Paraflix is the new streaming service for the paranormal, supernatural, cryptics, UFOs. There's going to be music videos. It launched today,
right?
And you go down and download the app, and it's like. I hate to use this terminology because I don't like it to compare the two, but it is pretty similar. It's like Netflix. It's paranormal. It's like the Netflix of paranormal or whatever, however you want to say it. And it's an excellent way to see some great content. And like I said, it's paranormal. There's documentaries, there's mysteries, there's true crimes. There's going to be music videos. There's talk shows. It's all on this one app that looks exactly like Netflix, but it's really good, and it's great for people that really love the paranormal and everything under the umbrella. So
what you're saying is you want our content on there, is that right? That's what you're saying to me.
Well, what you do is, just to talk briefly about it here, that what you do is you go to the site, and anybody else in the chat room or anybody seeing this replay, if you want to put your stuff on Paraflix, you just go to their website and submit your channel or your name, your channel, whatever, and they will look into you, they'll interview you, and they'll talk to you, and then you put your content onto Paraflix. So there is a little bit, obviously there is a little bit when it comes to, and I'm going to be honest here, and everybody should know this, but when it comes to YouTube and Paraflix, that if you're going to put a video on Paraflix, they don't want it to be the exact same video on YouTube.
Right. Okay.
So what I was doing is I was putting teasers out on YouTube. And then I would put the full video. I'm going to put the full video on Paraflix.
Yeah.
And I'll have to be honest. The Paraflix is going to be a global company, and they're expecting big things. And after today's launch and the amount of buzz that's going on about it, it's going to be incredible. And I will tell you, I don't know offhand, I think there's might be 3 or 4 groups from the UK that are on there. Okay. I know West London Paranormal's on there, and I know they're from the UK. So, and there's a few others. But I figured me getting in now was a good time, right at the beginning. And so you're just going to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow. So, and I will tell you why I kind of went in this direction is because I found that YouTube, great platform, don't get me wrong, but you were competing with 37 million other channels.
Yeah.
And it is difficult. And for the days of getting 500,000 subscribers is probably gone. But if you were doing it like 5 years ago, you had a better chance of getting to those numbers. But I just found that YouTube's algorithm and the way they're doing things right now, taking away viewers, taking away views, it just made a lot more sense to me to go the Paraflix route. And that's why I did what I did. So long-winded, but I've been doing that a lot today for some reason. I don't know why. So,
well, I mean, we'll have a catch up with Ralph tomorrow because it's PM in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
We're both going to be at work tomorrow, so I'll have a chat with Ralph because we work together, you see.
Okay.
And we'll mull over Paraflix and we'll have a think about it, and we'll definitely put some serious thought into it.
Yeah, because you guys, your content is should be on a broader spectrum of getting, instead of getting 600 views, it should be getting 90,000 views.
No, we
you know what I mean? So, and I'm trying to bring Lex over too, but we know the answer that Lex will give is because of the fact that he just feels he doesn't have enough content yet. But neither, and I will say this, Nightmare Project that's on Paraflix, they didn't have that much content out there either. And I was thinking about this the other day, Lex. They only had 3 videos out.
I actually have a plan. So I'm actually finishing. This is I was drawing up my own personal plan. So like for Capture the Unknown season 1, I've probably 4 episodes away from finishing that season because it's the opening season. I'm still buying equipment, still learning. So season 2 is when I'm taking 3 months off releasing the investigations to film the entire season, and I've got over 100 locations to film in 3 months. And when I edit those and do that, that'll be when I consider moving that series onto Paraflix, because I think season 1 will be on YouTube, full videos, get a gist of who I am, and then subscribe to that Paraflix to come and see season 2, which is going to be a lot better. I've got a lot more tests being made. I've got equipment being made for me. And I also have, like I said, 100 locations being done, some of which have been done on TV shows, but the TV shows are not reliable TV shows. So I am going to rectify what they did wrong by doing it legitly. So it's going to be a big season this time. So I'm aiming to, I'll probably apply once I know what I'm doing with season 2, and then I'll see what Paraflix says to me.
Yay. And we don't normally read the comments in the comment section, but I will say that Jenny Love Paranormal TV, that was on our show a couple of weeks ago, she actually said it, and it's true. Paraflix is going to take off like a rocket. And it's true, because it is. And I believe anything Jenny says. So, but getting back to you guys and getting off that topic for a minute, I'll let you go ahead, Lex, because I know you like to ask certain questions, and I know you have one waiting.
Yeah. So, in terms of all the locations you've been to, before we touch on every other location in the world, with all the places you've done and recorded, which one's been your favorite? And what was it about that investigation that made it number 1 for you?
Ralph, you first, because I'm having a faint.
You having a think, I think, for me personally, again, I'd have to go back to Witch's Wood. And again, I know we spoke about this about we were backed up back to back like OK Corral. We were thought was being surrounded by something wasn't nice. And it was that moment where we just thought, you know what, this is it. If we wanted to escape, there is no safe exit. You know what I mean? And it's sort of like, it was one of those really, you know, where we stood there and was like, well, what's going off here? So yeah, for me, it was Witch's Wood that I went. And ironically though, because I did my solo investigation, and it was just like a midnight walk through the woods. It was flat as anything. So you know, talk about extremes, but yeah.
Wow.
For me, it's difficult. It's either Codner Castle for me or Oakhurst House in Ambergate in Derbyshire. But I think it's probably going to be Codner Castle, because like Ralph said, that's why when we got to 500 subscribers on YouTube, we did a thank you. Ralph did a solo completely on his own to Witch's Wood, and I did one to Codner Castle. And apart from Clifton Woods, it was the only time I've ever wanted to just turn the camera off and say, sod this, I'm out.
Oh wow.
I was getting growls in front of me. I mean, I'm talking 2 feet from my face in the pitch black. I was getting pushed, pulled, just things thrown, and it was just sort of like, I'm on my own here. You know, and it starts to play on your mind, and I'm not that sort of person that gets spooked easily at all. I mean, like you say, we run towards things. We don't run away. I've been scratched, and I ended up having a fallout with a ghost, you know. But that night, I was so close, just saying, I can't do this anymore. And I think that's the most I've ever been pushed to that point. So for me, it has to be Codner Castle, I think.
Yeah. So, John, when we were in the green room and we were talking, you were talking about an investigation last night that you did. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah,
and what
we did
your experience was? What your experience was?
Yeah. We did a live at Colston Bassett. We're trying to do one live event each month. We've got quite a strong fan base, and a lot of them either live in the States or around the UK where they can't get out. So we do a live to include them. We'd be as interactive as possible, take them along for the journey so they've got some, live interest sort of thing. And myself, Vicky, and James went. Now, I'm the sort of person that always likes to fly very close to the line. And I'm always getting told off by Ralph or Vicky, or especially my wife. She's always giving me a bollocking. And last night, I said to Vicky, I'm going for it tonight. If myself and Ralph have been a couple of times, we've had a lot of activity. There was a reported sighting of a black monk, which is supposed to be very malicious. And I said, look, we're having him tonight. I says, I'm going for it. So Vicky opened everything that she could do. She gave permission basically to have anything to latch onto me. And I wasn't disrespectful in any way. We never are. There's been times where I've lost my temper, if you like, but that's due to certain incidents, and I've probably responded in the incorrect way, but what I would classify as a naturally human way. Do you know what I mean? And last night I was asking for things to attach itself to me. I gave it permission, affect me in the worst way possible, and I got very ill. I was pretty much on my knees throwing up in the middle of a graveyard for at least 2 minutes, and then Ralph, who wasn't on the investigation, actually came online at that point, gave me a bollocking and said, you need to get him out of the investigation. And usually against my sort of thing, I'd just be like, no, just keep going. And I actually said, I need to get out. And that's against usually what I would do, so I had to take myself out, compose myself. It seemed to be localized in one area.
So I'm kind of curious, oh, wait a minute. Did I cut out there? Yeah, I cut out there. So, well, there's our one thing that was going to happen during the show that we talked about at the beginning. So I'm kind of curious. Now, I've had an experience recently, as I was telling you guys in the green room, and I know what I was experiencing. At that moment when you were experiencing all that, what was the feeling that you were? I know you were sick and stuff like that, but what was the feeling like? Were you confused? What was going on in your head at that particular moment?
First and foremost is I'm going to get a bollocking from Ralph and my missus. That was going from first and foremost. Thought I'm going to get such a telling off for this. But skipping aside, sort of like me feeling guilty and stuff like that, I think it was more of a feeling of, have I actually pushed my luck a little bit too much this time? When I was on my knees, actually, for the second time, because I thought after the first time, that'll do. I'll compose myself, and it hit me straight away. It was almost like a wave that you see coming in on the beach. It was hitting me, making me ill. I'll be able to compose myself, hit me, make me ill. It was like that for about 3 times. And after the third time, I thought, I think I've pushed my luck a little bit too far this time. And that's when Vicky says, John, you've got to go and get out basically from this area. And usually I'd argue and, until the cows come home and say, no, this is what we're here for. I said to James last night, I said, you can't be a ghost hunter and run away when the ghosts come out. There's no point in doing that. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I've not whinged once about me feeling ill or being affected because I was asking for it to happen. So I can't moan when it does.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, looking back,
always a hindsight.
It was. I think I pushed my luck a little bit last night.
Yeah. I was thinking because when my experience, what happened about a week and a half ago, I was in business and how it started for me personally was. I felt like something on me, but then my mouth started getting a little bit dry. And then all of a sudden I felt like a pressure on my neck. And then I started to cough because I couldn't breathe properly. And that's where I had to run to the sink to have a drink of water. And it was just a weird experience, like how it just gradually got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till it hit the point where, okay, what sorry for saying this, but what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just a weird, and that's when I went to the sink and, like I said, I had a drink of water. It's interesting how when this does happen, that everybody's experience a little bit different on what they're thinking and what they're feeling. And I really, really find it interesting. Ralph, have you ever had anything like that happen to you?
I can't say that I have really. I know when the energies are high and that, you tend to get more like energy zapped. But I've never had any of the physical sort of like aspects of it, the feeling the sickness or anything like that. So no, I can't say. Normally,
Ralph, do you mind if I ask you how tall you are? Because you look like you're a pretty big boy, so maybe that's why they're staying away from you.
I'm only about a 5'10" tall, but probably about 5 foot wide. So
you got the broad shoulders going on, so I was thinking maybe that's why they're staying away from you.
It's because I have to carry all the shit that John forgets,
which is pretty much a lot.
Yeah, that's it. All kidding aside, though, it's really interesting how you find that everybody's experience is a little bit different on when they get touched, because some people feel a cool feeling. When I was 15 and I was touched when I was 15, it was a warm feeling. So, it's just, it's amazing how everybody's experiences are so different. I was really curious about that. Anyway,
I don't think Ralph's, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Ralph, but he's never had that experience because he's not as stupid as I am.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Where he's the sensible one, definitely of the group. He's the best. I'm the one that will push my luck as far as I can, where he weighs up every single possibility and he knows where that line is drawn. I don't. I just keep going.
So you kind of have to have a frick and a frat.
Exactly.
The guy that's really crazy and the guy that's more level-headed and tries to pull you away from it.
And I
think that's what makes a great relationship of paranormal investigators.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lex.
So I'm trying to get the idea of Bryan addressing someone as "you look like a big boy."
Okay. Well, that was obviously taken the wrong way, so I didn't mean it that way at all. But,
it's British humor.
But you know what's funny is the fact that I find that, like I know some people that are pretty tall and pretty big boys, and they do the paranormal investigating, and they don't get any of that. But then you get this small little short. I'm not saying you were small and short, so I'm generalizing here. Okay, so there you got the small little short guy over here, and who's getting touched all the time. So, is it possible?
Potentially.
I don't know. Definitely. Anything's possible. So I was sorry about the big boy comment. I didn't mean
no.
I didn't mean anything by that. Honestly, I didn't. Lex is just trying to get me in trouble.
It's just the way you said it.
You know what? Like my shoe was here, and Lex is trying to stuff it in my face. That's what's going on right now. So
I've just taken advantage of having the home court advantage today. Okay?
I know. And
next week there'll be another Canadian or American, and I'll be sat here.
It's funny because when I told Lex that you guys were going to be on the show, and he knew about you guys, and he was really excited because we want to have more UK people on the show, and because I was saying to Ralph before you came in, John, in the green room, that I find that the UK has a lot more places to go to than I would say the States or Canada. And I know Ralph said that there's a lot of places everywhere and stuff like that, but you guys got so much history in the UK from going back to 1200?
Yeah.
Even further back.
Yeah. Further, yeah.
So, and you guys got so many hey, listen, there's not a lot of castles in Canada or the States. So you guys have a shitload of castles in the UK and I've been to a number of them because I've been to London a few times.
Oh, wow.
Or the UK, And you guys just have so much history there compared to everywhere else. And keeping in mind, Canada has only been around for 150 years.
Right. Okay.
So, and I think the States is only about 223, 224, somewhere in that area. So that's why I'm saying that you guys have so much there that I'm really, really envious. And if you guys have another draw, make sure you let me know, and I'm going to put my name in there because I'm going to fly out there and I'm going to investigate with you guys.
You don't need a competition for that. You're welcome to come over anytime. Yeah, you just have to put it with me being a bit of a div, I'm afraid.
Talking of castles, I live next to castles, so.
Oh, well, there you go. So
Really?
I live Windsor Castle.
Never. Do you really?
I live in Windsor, yeah, so
I'd love to investigate that place.
Just outed myself to the internet where I live, but yeah, so I live in there. But I've been to the castle 6-7 times because if you're a resident here, you can go for free. So I'm going to see. Well, when they open it again after COVID, I am going to try and see if I can smuggle in my EMF detectors and stuff and see if they let me do it. Because they don't usually. If I just don't tell them what it is, like they don't take it off you. It's like having a phone. You just like, oh yeah, it's an EMF reader. Yeah. And they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm hoping. If not, I was going to wear a body cam and use my phone because you're not allowed to take photos or anything in there. So
I might get this name wrong, but I've been in this one castle in the UK. I believe it's called Salisbury. Is it Salisbury Castle? It's in the Southampton. I've been to that castle. And the reason why I was in that castle because my ex-wife, she had family that was related to people that are actually buried in the floor in that castle.
Oh, wow.
So that was really cool to see, and that's a nice castle. I've been to Windsor Castle also. So, but go ahead, Lex. Yeah, I know Lex is itching to ask this question soon. The question that we ask you in the green room to think about. But he's got 2 questions, I believe, right? Right, Lex?
Yeah, as always. And this week, I'm not going to forget one of them because I forgot last week, and it's really annoying. I've done it consistently for 10 episodes, and I forgot it. So we'll start off with the easy one, going off the back of your favorite location you've done. If I threw a big bag of money at you, you go anywhere in the world to investigate it for one night, where would you go?
For me, it'd be the Japanese suicide forest.
Hey, join the club. Woohoo!
Number 1 on my bucket list. Number 1 on my bucket list.
Man, I think for me, I think it'd have to be over Transylvania.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! That's a new one.
Yeah,
that is a new one.
Yeah, I think that area's got a lot of history in and around it. Obviously, you know the obvious, but I don't know. I think there's just a little bit more there that meets the eye.
I like that.
And I think, and it's interesting you say that because I think there would be a lot of dark energy there. A lot of dark energy there, and that might be one that I might run from. I'm not a runner either. I'm not. I'm like John. I go towards the noises. I'm not a run. I won't leave. If something happens, I still won't leave. Even if everybody's saying, okay, let's go, I say no. So I'm like exactly like John. But that place I would imagine would have a lot of dark energy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's actually a good one that I've never ever thought about.
I've never thought of that. I think in terms of the folklore that came out of Transylvania, I don't know why I've never thought of it because one of the famous vampires in the world.
The thought of running from there, I think I'll go in with flip-flops just to stop me from running a bit. So
Nice. I think that's great. Obviously, it's good to see that. I think so far the most common answer for that question is, we've had 2 common ones. We've had the Paris catacombs, and we've had suicide forest. So those ones are the big ones. So mine is obviously suicide forest. Always will be until I go. But I've also, and I'm going to. I'll be coming up Manchester way. I don't know if you guys have been to the underground city there.
No.
No, so I found I know how to get there because the last video I watched they didn't hide the location of the entrance very well. So I'll be that. So might be worth having to by all means, come along. We're going to the undercity of Manchester.
Yeah,
How far are you guys from each other?
It's about an hour and 40 to Manchester from here, so it's not far at all. It's nothing that we certainly wouldn't consider going.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Good. I see a collab. I see a collab coming.
Lex, please let us know.
Yeah, I will. I think we are aiming it. I've got 2 series being filmed between now and May, and then that one. So I'll let you know closer to the time.
Please do so, mate. Yeah, we're definitely good for that.
I hope you don't mind.
I hate all of you. I hate all of you. I hate all of you.
There we go.
So
Bring
jealous.
it on UK.
I'm so jealous.
Team UK for the win.
Hope you don't mind climbing down storm drains, because that's what we have to go down. But yeah.
Oh God, no.
So that leads me, and I just realised that isn't one of the 2 questions I have to ask either, Brian.
What's that? Say that again.
That wasn't one of the 2 questions, was it? Because I've just remembered what the question was that I forgot last week.
No, it wasn't. But I'm glad you asked that, though.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's one of my favorite things. It's the same as this next question. The reason why I like that one, a lot of people, the difference in this question and the next one, for that one, most people say the same stuff. So I think almost every week we get Suicide Forest, almost every week. And then we get someone who surprises us. Well, this week we had Transylvania, which is great. Someone said something Italy before. So they're always Paranormal was quite easy to guess where people tend to want to go. So it's nice to get those little surprise ones thrown in. So thank you for that, Ralph. But the thing that the one that's always different, and this is my favorite question to ask, because I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I'm a huge comic book nerd. I love superheroes, and my favorite thing about them is the origin stories for every hero is different. And so I've brought this into the paranormal, and I'm trying to find everyone's origin story into the paranormal, and I'm keeping a note of them all because I think they're all very interesting. Because every single person is introduced to it differently. So we'll start with Ralph, and then John. If you could tell me what was your first ever paranormal experience that you ever encountered.
Right, I think probably the first one that sticks out in my mind is probably when I was like 14, 15, and I actually saw a ghost leaning on the windowsill next to an area I was working with a local farmer in Cornwall. Described her down to the T, knew which way she was facing. You asked me what her face looked like, I really couldn't tell you. But cut a long story short, it was basically, I gave you a description and I've shown the photograph of this lady's dead grandma. So, and it was down to the same dress and everything. So, and I think that's what really got to me. Before that, you all have these little experiences and everything. When I was a kid, I remember picking up, everyone was picking up books on cars and stuff like that. And I got this book on ghosts with a pair of arms sticking out of a waterfall in Australia. It's been drawn in with crayons and stuff like that. I used to go, wow, man, that must be amazing to see. And that was it. And my head was there because I liked it because there was no answers. All the lessons I did, it was like you did math and you did English and everything had an answer. Paranormal, there's never been ever answer really. We're all still trying to get that answer. So yeah, for me it's that really.
Wow,
that's really good. I like that one.
Yeah.
And I think what's really good is that you were around the same age that I was when I did my first one. I think I was 17 when I encountered mine, and I'll touch on that lightly in a moment. But John, what about you?
I think I was about 12, and it was at the time, when you used to have like a 2 up, 2 down house your mum and dad could afford, and 4 people sleeping in the same bedroom. I used to share my bedroom with my brother, but he wasn't there that night. But one of his friends and one of my cousins was actually there. So we had 2 single beds side by side, and then a mattress on the floor for my cousin. And I woke up in the middle of the night, sat at the end of my bed. I mean, the room was dark, but there was a black figure outlined. It was darker than the room itself. You could clearly see it. And I thought I was asleep, so I rubbed my eyes and looked again, and it was still there. Rubbed my eyes, and it was still there. And that's when all the hairs on all over my body just shot up. And I backed away. There was a wall behind my bed, and I sort of like hunched up against this wall. And I was just staring at this figure. And I just thought, am I seeing things? And then I heard the person next to me, which his name was Richard. He thought it was my cousin messing about. So he put the light on, and he was like, oh. And then he saw me and he said, "Did you just see that sat at the end of your bed?" And that's when it hit home for me. Like, not only had I seen it, but he'd woke up and seen it as well. And for me, that's like, wow. And I was like, yeah.
That's one hell of a way to be introduced to it, isn't it?
Isn't it just? Yeah. And ever since then, there was always that. It wasn't scary in any way, you know, even though my body obviously reacted so. It was more, what is this? Wow. Am I seeing a ghost? You know.
Wow.
It was strange.
I'd like to run a theory by you quickly, because especially seeing how old you were when you had your experiences. So I think you said you were 12, yeah?
Yeah.
So I have a weird theory, and it's I've spoken about this before on different live shows with people. The theory that kids have imaginary friends.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, kids like certain animals have a different sense of things when they're younger.
Yeah.
And I have this theory that because if imaginary friends was completely normal and it's just something kids always make up, surely every kid would do it.
Yeah.
But it's only certain kids. And I find a lot of people's imaginary friends, if they live in the same area or the same house, tend to be the same. And so I have this weird theory that I think that imaginary friends are kids are able to see spirits. And that's why we don't react. And that's why when we first encounter them, we don't know how to react to it, because our body, as we've got older, has rejected the idea. So it becomes imaginary. And I just wanted to run that by you. Do you think that potentially there could be a link between paranormal and imaginary friends for kids?
Oh, I think it's undoubtedly exactly paranormal. If I remember rightly reading in a book, as children develop, their brain still holds on to a certain, I can't remember what it is, a certain chemical that adults don't have, which allows them to have a different perception and see things like that. But as they age, that dwindles over time, which is why adults don't actually get that. So kids are more, I suppose people say animals are susceptible to it as well, but that's why they think children are more susceptible to seeing paranormal things, is they've still got this chemical or this brain imbalance, if you like, which allows them to actually pick up on that, which we don't as adults. So yeah, I think 100% is.
Yeah, great.
I think in some way we've all heard that theory a little bit, because I've heard of that theory that Lex said too, and it's a good theory because I think there is a lot to it, to be honest. And I know tons of kids when I was young that they had imaginary friends, or that's what their parents told them they were, but in actual fact they probably weren't. They were probably actual spirits.
Yeah,
I think what led me to it is the way that we see kids playing with these imaginary friends, because kids obviously kids aren't stupid. They would know that someone's not actually there. In terms of if they know when they're making up a game with their toys that the toys aren't actually doing what they're saying. Like that, kids are relatively smart.
Yeah.
But it's the level they go to, like kids having dinner parties and they actually pour a drink out for that imaginary friend, or they make extra toast and give it to the imaginary friend. And I find those behaviors is what really pushed that idea for me, because when people are imagining things, no matter how old you are, when you imagine being a superhero, you wouldn't imagine yourself flying and actually throw yourself off a house. You just run around the garden. Like, imagination can only be so far to a certain degree. I mean, for one, the threat of safety, our survival instincts are so strong, we're not going to put ourselves in harm's way. But the fact they're not afraid of it, and I think this is what made me really come to the idea. I like that idea. I had an imaginary friend when I was a kid, or a certain young. But what's really weird, and I think I've told Bryan this. Before I lived in not this house or the one before, but before that, I lived in a house towards the town centre. Was there for a year, and I have no recollection of ever living in that house. But I can remember every house prior to that. Wow. And it's really weird because I remember the only thing I remember is I had an imaginary friend while living there.
Yeah,
called Blue.
Yeah,
that was his name.
Wow.
I remember he was wearing a baseball cap backwards.
Blue. What was his name? Blue.
Blue. Yeah, BLU.
Okay.
So I don't know, but that's what I remember anyway. But I remember like he would always have a blue shirt on and a hat backwards, and that's the only thing I can remember. And as I've got older, I've really questioned why I can't remember that house.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just where my brain was just like, can't see that thing anymore, and it just repressed it. it was just like, yeah, just that whole year that he was playing with little Timmy in the imaginary, it was pretend that never happened, and would just wipe the slate. But it was just really weird. So that's why I started thinking more about that. So I'm glad that you guys think it's a good theory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very plausible.
So I think that brings us on to our last question then, unless Brian's got anything more to add before I do the final one.
No, go ahead.
Cool. So have you guys heard of the app Randonautica that's been sweeping the paranormal nation?
Random. Can't say I have.
No,
heard it.
sorry.
No? Oh, this
Really?
is weird. So
Wow.
rather, it's been massive on the YouTube community, especially in the paranormal. We have big channels like Oh My Gosh doing videos on it all the time. There's a few people that do it. It's basically an app where it tells you that if you think about something, what you want, it will pinpoint a place on the map for you to go to find it. And let's say like you think of what you want to do. I want to do something scary, and you just think to your head, scary, 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 scary. Apparently, you go to where it takes you, and you're going to find something scary, whether it's a haunted house, abandoned property. It's the whole thing. And I'm collecting
I've heard of it.
random.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Lex, I have heard of that. Yeah.
So there's a story that went around the first time it was out. Someone found a body in a briefcase on a beach after using the app. So this is why I'm asking the question, because it was never meant it wasn't made for paranormal. It wasn't aimed and then pushed out to YouTubers to use. But after that incident, paranormal YouTubers blew it up. Like they're using it all the time. I think they're great videos. So we're just trying to get a general census whether or not people think that app could be linked to the paranormal or not, which would be quite hard to answer if you don't know what it is.
I mean, well, based on that, that's
Go on, Arthur.
I was going to say, based on how you've described it, it's my first thought is goes back to some of the mentalist Darren Brown. There's some of the stuff that he's done. One that sticks in my mind where he did dowsing, or he got a guy to do dowsing to find water in the middle of a desert, and he dowsed it, and he found it using the dowsing rod. But when he got there was no water in that container. So it's going down to the subconscious level or something. So I think, it's one of those at the end of the day where you could turn around and go, there could be something around it. And, it's a bit of 50-50, really. Yeah. So
well,
I think there's a lot of subconscious.
When Lex asks this question, we usually get the answer, and I kind of tell the history of the Randonautica. Basically, the reason why the Randonautica was brought out was because Randonautica company, or who's ever doing it, wanted to get people out of their houses to discover their community. And that's the only reason why this app was brought out, because they found, I guess, a lot more people are sitting and watching TV, not getting out of the house and enjoying their community, enjoying their town or wherever they are. So that's why did I sound out there? Can you guys still hear me?
No, I still got
you. So that's why they brought out the app. And then this story happened with the body found on the beach in a suitcase. And then it just blew up from there. So, and that's why we asked the question, because we truly believe, me and Lex, that it has nothing to do with paranormal.
I would say not. I would say it's. I mean, if you want somebody, if you're selling an app and you want to approach the paranormal community, if you want to get their interest, you're going to put anything anywhere that's going to flash up on that app. No, not for me. For me, it sounds too random. It's a bit like the SLS camera. The thing that's like a Kinect. And people put loads of videos on YouTube. Oh, I've seen it. It doesn't. It makes a shape. It's programmed to make a shape of a human shape, whether it's a chair, a table, or something. But it will still try and figure it out as a human shape. And for me, it's just too randomized. It sounds like this app is something very similar to try and sell.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, I agree. And that was me that time, that notification. I know somebody else went off earlier. That was me that time. It's hard. If I turn off the notifications, I don't hear any of you guys. So unfortunately, I have to have them on. So, but you know what, guys? I really, I from the bottom of my heart, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound a little bit sappy, and I'm sorry. I'm not really a sappy guy, but I'm going to say it anyways. I really appreciate you guys coming on. I'm big fan of your channel, of your Instagram and all that thing. John, we've talked many times over the last 6 or 7 months, And from the bottom of my heart, I really, really appreciate you guys coming on and taking the time. And I will continue watching your videos. Your link will be in the description. So people that are watching the replay, they can go over and enjoy your videos and subscribe to your channel. And like I always tell them, hit that notification bell so you know when their videos are coming out or have come out. And again, guys, thank you so much. And I hope you guys continue doing what you do best, and that's paranormal, and continue throwing those videos out there so people can enjoy them. And hopefully, maybe one day we'll see you on Paraflix, and that would be a really, really good thing. And I think you guys will do extremely well. Extremely well. And I'm going to let Lex talk before I get a little more emotional here. And yeah. So,
Bryan, it's an absolute pleasure, mate. I appreciate it. And
thanks for your comments. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
ahead,
let me jump in. Let me jump in here, big boy.
You're not going to live that one down now. But...
yeah, it's true. I'm going to.
Oh,
it's okay though.
Can't help it. Can't help it. But yeah,
it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
I just want to reiterate the point that Bryan made. I think thanks you for coming on and talking to us. I'm glad that Bryan introduced me to your channels. I think I already had you on Twitter already, so I was adding everyone. But I'm glad that I've got some videos of yours to watch, because it's refreshing to see how you do it. You two seem like great people. You seem like a lot of fun. I love the fact that you do things for your subscribers. Bringing them out to trips and stuff like that. I think that's extremely commendable, and not many people do stuff like that for their subscribers other than say thank you to them. So it's just nice to see you go the extra mile. I think that's really refreshing. And so I can't wait to see what you do next. Hopefully we all end up on Paraflix maybe then one day, because you deserve to get seen by a shit ton more than what you're already getting. You're up there and one of my favorites already, and I've only been watching you guys for 5 days, so I'm absolutely a huge fan. You got a fan in me for life. And also thank you again for coming on here and sharing stuff out, and I really hope I can cover.
Yeah.
And
sorry,
I
go ahead.
bring this to Manchester.
Yeah. So sorry, I was going to say, now that you guys know that you guys are close with each other, Lex, you have some more people to go out with, man, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Not just me, myself,
and unless they meet you for the first time, they go, "Oh God, we don't want to go out with that guy again." Jesus, what the hell is going on? Okay, so I hate to use this term, but when you call, they ghost you. So, but no, it's great. You know what? If you guys all do a video together, I think it'll be phenomenal. I think it'll be great. I really do.
Well, we'd love to go up to Manchester to do that underground city. And Lex, we've got so much history down here in the Midlands. You're welcome down here anytime, mate. Just come down. We'll introduce you to the team. We'll get you out to all these locations. It'd be great to meet you in person and do some collabs with you.
Thank you very much.
And yourself, Bryan.
UK represent me. Don't forget about little old B over here.
So you're welcome over anytime.
We'll let you know how it went.
Right. So,
well, if you don't like Lex, you're definitely not going to like me. So,
it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you both.
Yeah,
really
it's been great, guys. It's been great.
Thank you very much, guys. We're gonna put you back in the green room. Feel free to stay and listen to the end bit, or do whatever you want to do. But we're gonna sign off now anyway. But once again, thank you for coming on, and we'll keep an eye out for you.
Definitely.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot for having us. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Be safe.
There we are, guys. So that was GSI, Ghost Sighting Investigators, right there. And what can I say? What a brilliant group of guys.
Yeah. I think you're gonna have fun with them if you go out with them, man. And it's always good to have more investigators to investigate with. And I'm glad I was able to bring them on to introduce you to them. Now knowing that they're so close to you.
I now want to see where I fit on their spectrum. Like, we've got crazy, runs into danger, gets beaten up by ghost, or thinking and the other side thinking about the consequences. I want to know where I fit. Like, would I end up here?
Yeah,
it'd be quite a fun dynamic actually. Because I'm more than happy to Rambo it. So I'll run into it.
You know what? Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is what it's all about of us bringing these guests on. So, you get to learn about them and maybe even collab with them down the road. And I think, and like I said before they left, you guys collabing and doing a video together, I think it'd be phenomenal. And with your experience, with their experience, and obviously they're going to learn something from you. You're going to learn something from them. And I think it will make for a fantastic video. And please do it, because I think that will be a well-watched video. And I know you're in a position right now where you want to grow and you got to connect with the right people. And those are the right people to connect with.
Yeah, and it's just good. I'd like to. Every time I speak to someone, they don't know about this Manchester City. It's quite hard. It's quite hidden somehow. I don't know how. So it's just gonna be great to go and bring someone else down there as well. And it's already actually in my plan. I've just typed it up in here that these guys are the ones that I want to bring on that episodes. So it's gonna be awesome. I'll start the ball rolling on that as soon as I get this next episode filmed, and then I'll start planning that one. So, yeah,
I will take a lot of thank yous over the next month or two, and if you just want to reach out to me and say thank you, go ahead, and I'm okay with that, and I will say you're welcome.
I will when you tell me that Britain's amazing, better than Canada.
Yeah, well, when it comes to ghosts and history, yeah, it's better than Canada. I will say that. How about that?
Oh,
I'll
okay.
give you that.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me to them, Bryan.
Okay,
so we are running well over time this time.
Yeah,
round,
well over time.
It was a great chat, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
So, but I'll let you do the final sign off today. I'll do my time. Your one's always nice, and this one's a joke this time.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Perfect. So I do want to say something about last week's show. I did have a couple of people that messaged me and didn't understand what was going on. Now, Mother's Day special was because Mother's Day was in the UK. Mother's Day was not here in Canada. Mother's Day is in May. So I just wanted to point that out because I got a few messages. Some people were a little bit confused. So I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, Mother's Day here in Canada is May 9th. I think it's the exact same time in the States too. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But I also want to let people know, again, Paraflix launched today. And if you want to subscribe, the link is down below. You hit that link. You put in the promo code and you will get 10% off for your next 3 months, which honestly is a fantastic deal. Now, if you do want to buy the yearly package, you get 2 months free. So it works out to about 2 months free if you get the yearly package, but I don't think you get the promo code if you go on the year, pay for the year, because you get 2 months free. So hit that link, subscribe, and download the app. The app's amazing, and you guys are really going to enjoy everything when it comes to paranormal. And if you want to see it, it's there, and there's a lot of it. So I'm going to sign off and say thank you for everybody being in the show today. I know there weren't a lot of people here today, and that's fine. People will watch the replay. And we're okay with that too. If you can hit that subscribe button, that would be awesome. Also, when you're watching this, because obviously we want to grow as a team, me and Lex, to provide you some of the best paranormal investigators in the business. And that's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to end with this, like I do every week. Don't let yesterday use up today.
Beautiful. And can I just say, look at this. I don't know if you'll see it on camera. Look at the YouTube notification I just got.
What's that?
That is GSI, Ghost Sighting Investigators, live from Colston Bassett Castle. As we're on the show. So I will be watching that when we're done here. So I'll leave it there. But yeah, okay, beautiful sign off as always, Bryan. I would like to just say to everyone in the replays who was in the room today and to our special guests, thank you so much for turning in today. We've had a lot of fun, especially talking to these two. Again, another fantastic show. If you do like what we are doing on this channel, please like and subscribe to the interviews and share it out so people can see what we're doing. If you know anyone who has a YouTube channel who wants a bit of promotion, or you've got one yourself, you can get in contact with both me and Bryan. All our contact details are in the description below and in the About Me section of the channel. So feel free to get in contact. We are lovely. We're not gonna ignore you or be horrible. We will listen to what you want to if you want to be on.
Yeah.
And I will sign off with probably the worst quote I've ever done so far on my ever-changing quotes.
Here we go.
Let's see if you can get the joke here.
Okay.
Whatever you do, always give 100%, unless you're giving blood.
Really?
Work out the joke. Have we got the joke? If you give 100% of blood, you die.
Yeah, I got it. I don't know where you're going with that one. I just want to make sure you do have the description of the GSI link in the description. Sorry, I said that twice. Yeah, everything's great.
Everything's
again, guys. Have a wonderful Sunday wherever you are, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you very much, guys.